Hey there. Happy Friday. Y'all, I'm sitting here laughing. I'm sitting here laughing because I was trying to get my camera settings to where it's halfway decent. I mean, I don't have an expensive iPhone or an expensive tablet. Well, actually, I mean, this tablet was kind of expensive when I first bought it, but it came out in 2019, so it's not the latest, greatest fancy thing. So I was trying to work on my camera settings so that it's not strange, and I downloaded an app called Open Camera, and it gives you a lot more options for changing your lighting settings and whatever. It's like got all this stuff on there. I'm not recording with that right now. I'm actually just using my camera app, the one that comes with the tablet. And because the open camera thing, I clicked on it and I had it set to where it's like everything looked good before I started recording. So it's like the lighting looked okay, the colors looked okay. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it looked all right. I mean, my eyes looked blue and my hair looks blonde and, all of these things. But, and it's like, and I locked it because it has it set to where you can adjust your settings to how you want them, and then you can lock those settings in so that they stay that way. As soon as I click record, suddenly everything changes and it suddenly has this appearance as if I'm recording a video from 1970. If you ever look at like photographs or videos that were taken, like whole movie type things or something from the 1970s, it has this kind of like hazy pinkish glow to it or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it just, I mean, I seriously was looking at it going, I look like I'm from like the 1970s, which, I was born in 1967, so I was around in the 1970s, but that's not the look I was going for my videos. And it's like no matter what I do to change it, it's not going to fix it because I had this conversation with my sister yesterday because I'm like, I just don't understand how all these YouTubers and stuff, they film these videos with their cell phones and they look fantastic. Everything looks great and all of this kind of stuff, and I said, well, they must be just using like the latest iPhones or something. And she said, more than likely, yes, because, it's depending on what you're using, your camera lens is going to be different. I mean, if you're using a really high quality, expensive iPhone versus like what I use, you're going to get a much higher quality because the lens that's being used in the camera is a higher quality lens. And so it's going to give you a better everything. So, y'all, this is what I got to work with. I'm using my tablet right now because I gave up on the damn phone. I'm sorry, but it's really annoying that my phone only allows me to record 10-minute videos. And sometimes my rambles go on for longer than 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's like, I need more space. I need to be able to do more. And my tablet does. I mean, I actually have a Samsung Galaxy SE something or other. I don't even know. Whatever it is. It's a Samsung. So it's a better quality than my phone, which I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know what my phone brand is. It's some cheap foam that I bought here in Thailand, because at the time that I bought it, I didn't know I would ever be using it to try to make videos and stuff with, except for maybe a few little cat videos or something. But I never planned on using it for a YouTube channel. So when I bought it, my only purpose for buying the phone was for, using it as a phone if I needed it. So it's not that great. Oh well, whatever. So this is what you get, y'all. I am waiting on something though. I did buy myself something that's supposed to come probably tomorrow or the next day. Um, but it's a stand that you can use for your tablet, because right now, I mean, it's like every time I go to make one of these videos and I'm using my tablet, I'm like trying to find things to sit it on to get it up higher. Because like even now, I feel like a dwarf or something. Because I'm like, hi everybody, like way down here. I can't seem to find anything the right height. It's like it's either too short or it's too tall. And so it's dumb. And I never know if the thing's going to fall over. I mean, I could be in the middle of talking and all of a sudden this whole thing could just come crashing down or something because it's just kind of propped up. So I ordered this stand that's made specifically for putting your tablet in it, and you can adjust the height of it and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's going to work. It's cheap too, so there's no telling. It may or may not work. Because most of the stuff I do get is always cheap junk most of the time. Because I can't really afford to buy, the expensive stuff. I mean, if I had the money, I would invest in higher quality stuff. But at the moment, I just don't. So I get what I can or work with what I've got, and basically I've been working with what I've got. But it's like if I'm going to be making these videos, especially the ones here where, if I'm out and about, I'll use my cell phone, because it just makes more sense to use it since I've already got that when I'm out and it's smaller and more compact or whatever. But if I'm here at the house, I'm just going to use my tablet, I think, because it just works better. And I was trying to do this trick that I saw because they sell for cell phones. Now, I haven't seen any for tablets. Maybe they sell them and I haven't seen it. But apparently now they've actually got these things that you can use for your cell phone if you're making videos that you can attach that has a mirror on it so that you can turn your phone around and film with your back camera. Because unfortunately, the only decent camera on phones and tablets are the back cameras. But if you're filming using the back camera, you're either not filming yourself and you're looking at it through the screen, or you are having to turn it around to film yourself and you can't see what you're filming. So they've made these these mirror attachments now that you can attach to this, to like your little selfie stick or whatever it is, so that you can turn your camera around so that it's the back camera that's filming you, and then the mirror is reflecting back the screen so that you can see what you're actually filming, which is brilliant. It's like that makes sense. I mean, honestly, what would make the most sense in this day and age is if they would just put the really good camera on both sides. you know, it's like, why are you limiting us with just the back camera being a good camera that's going to give good quality videos and pictures, whatever? So I don't know. I mean, I'm not the designer, I'm not the creator of these cameras and all that stuff, or phones and things like that. But don't you think that would make more sense, really? I mean, I don't know. I do. I don't understand why they put these crappy cameras in the one where you can actually see, yourself, and the good one on the backside where you can't see what you're filming if you're using that camera to film. It's just, I don't know. It's dumb. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But I feel like this, like, I feel like a pinhead or something sitting down here. Oh my God. I think I'm giddy because y'all, I swear, I was up so late last night. I can't even remember what time I got to bed. It was like 3 something in the morning by the time I got to bed, because after I had made my video for this channel and got it ready and got it uploaded onto YouTube, I was preparing to make a video for my other channel. So I was like, I had to set things up and try to figure out how I was going to do all that and stuff. And of course, as usual, very typical, I no more got everything all set up until it started pouring rain. And suddenly it was like the Indy 500 outside. All these cars and stuff just kept going by, and scooters. And then the people across the street came home and they had like people with them or something, and they were all out there revving up their scooter engines and laughing and making all this noise. And I'm like, are you serious? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's what makes it so hard to make videos on that channel. Oh, and even on this right now, it's like it stopped. The people next door over here, they've been sitting outside because it's really nice out right now. I mean, it's evening and it's really cool outside. It's a very nice evening. So I don't blame them. But, there were several people out here sitting out on their little patio area, talking and laughing and having a good time, which there's nothing wrong with that. It makes me happy, actually, to hear people having a good time and being happy. I love that because it makes me happy to hear other people happy. But they were making a lot of noise, so I was kind of like, well, maybe I ought to wait until they're done. Just, the life of a YouTuber. Yeah, it's always an adventure. You never know what you're going to get. It's like from day to day, it's like you just don't know what kind of noise you're going to deal with or weather conditions. And last night, even when I made my video, I just had to make it while it was raining. I mean, it wasn't raining a lot. And I'm not even sure, when I listen back, you can kind of hear the rain in it. So I just added in the video title that, there's rain and nature sounds, because you can hear the crickets and all that stuff, nature sounds in the background. But personally, I don't mind that kind of stuff. I actually like it. I enjoy listening to nature sounds, unless it's that one lone cricket, which I've talked about before. Can't stand that one lone, loud, constant sound cricket. That drives me insane. But when it's a lot of crickets and stuff, like right now, kind of sounds like camp, you know? It's like if you close your eyes, you can kind of imagine that you're like at camp or something. And that's great. I don't mind that stuff, and I don't really care, if it's on a video. I mean, personally, I find that added, relaxation stuff, whatever. So it doesn't bother me. It may bother some people, if people are wanting to listen to a video where it's just totally silent except for whatever little sounds you're making or something. That's just never going to happen in my videos. So anyway, but yeah, I was up late. I was up so late. Yeah, I've been rambling for how long now? Since I first started talking about being up late. That's me, though. But yeah, I think I was up until like 3 something in the morning by the time I got that all done and uploaded and, checking it and all that kind of stuff, because I have to do a little editing and things like that. I didn't edit a whole lot with that one, though, because I was just like, the noise is there, so it's just going to be there. So then by the time I got to bed and everything, it seemed like I no more got to sleep until it was time to get up already. The cats were after me to get up. Oh, and last night, I was sitting here, and I think it was before I started making the video. Yeah, I think it was like after I had set up and I was about to start the video, I heard this loud crashing sound. And I thought, what in the world is that? So I went in there, and I'm like looking around in the room, and I didn't see anything that looked unusual. And I thought, oh no. So I looked out the window. Sure as the world, I've talked about it before, how little Lightning, the little blind, well, he's not blind. He's got one eye after I had his eye removed. He's an outdoor cat most of the time because that's how it's always been, right? Well, he had been outside, and what he likes to do is when he wants to come in, he likes to jump up in my back bicycle basket and peer through the window and meow to let me know that he's out there and he wants to come inside. So sure as world, he had jumped up in my bike basket, and I guess either was jumping out of it or when he was jumping in it or something, he knocked my bike over, and that was the crash I heard, was my bike crashing to the ground. I was like, oh God, oh Lord. I'm like, Lightning, please don't do this, please. It's like, this is my only mode of transportation. I need this to not get broken, not get damaged, because it's all I've got and I can't really afford to replace it. And I just got it repaired just a couple of weeks ago. Excuse me. Because a couple of weeks ago, I had been dealing for a while with this loud clunking sound when I was pedaling. I mean, it was just terrible, and it kept getting worse and worse. And I thought, oh God. And I didn't know how to fix it, but I figured out what was wrong. I thought, it's that bottom bracket. There's something broken in there, or something needs to be replaced in the bottom bracket, which is that little piece that goes in between your two pedal arms, you know, when you're pedaling. And so finally I took it up to, because I didn't know where to go get it fixed, because it's like there's really not a bicycle repair place anywhere here that I'm aware of. So I took it up to a scooter repair place, and luckily the day I took it up there, you know, I told them what needed to be looked at and checked and fixed. And luckily they were able to take it right then and fix it. And they did. They replaced, you know, the bottom bracket on there. And when I left out there, it was glorious. It was like riding off on a brand new bicycle. I was so happy. I ended up riding all around. I hadn't planned on it that day. I had not planned on just going out for this long bike ride and stuff, but I was like riding around, and I was making videos for this channel and stuff while I was out because I was just loving it. It was wonderful, because it is just such a great feeling when you get on a bicycle and you're pedaling and it's smooth and it's quiet, and it was just fantastic. And for anybody new here that doesn't know this, I mean, I absolutely love riding a bicycle. I love it. And I actually love the fact that this is my mode of transportation. And yeah, there are times when having a car would be nice because it would be a lot more convenient, and it would give me access to go other places that has more things available that I can't really get here in town because it's a small town. But for the most part, I'm able to do all my shopping on that bicycle. I've got my back basket and I've got my front basket, and I know exactly what I can get to fit in those baskets, what I can carry in it. Sometimes it's hard though. I won't lie. It can be hard. And I'm just so thankful that this guy up the street that has this little pet store that's really close, I went to him one day and I showed him an empty bag of my cat litter that I love because it's like the greatest cat litter I've ever tried in my entire life. It's wonderful, smells fantastic. Seriously, when you change your litter box, your whole house smells like fresh brewed coffee. It is phenomenal. It is wonderful. I've talked about that before too, but you know, for anybody new that doesn't have any idea, it's wonderful. And I buy the 10, I think it's like 10, I don't know if it's like liters. It's like, I'm not used to the way they weigh things and measure things here in Thailand. It's not like in America. They don't use the same metric system or whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but anyway, it's, you know, it's a big, heavy bag. And I used to have to go all the way into the far end of town to buy it. And when I would go down there, if they actually had it, I would put 2 of those big, heavy bags in the back basket of my bike, along with all my other stuff that I was buying. Because it's like if I make that long trip into town, I've usually got a list of things that I'm going to get while I'm down there. Because, it's kind of it's not, it's like I don't know, it's about 6 or 7 miles, I think, round trip to go down there, which is not that bad really, but it can be on really hot days or bad, rainy days or something. It's like, ugh, you don't really want to do it. So I try to get as much as I can when I go, but if I had 2 of those big, heavy bags in that back basket, plus all my other stuff, plus my front basket all full, it is really hard to keep the bike stable because, it's like, really difficult. So I asked this guy up here at the pet store if he could please get some of that litter in for me, because I just took the empty bag and I said, can you order this please? And thankfully he did. And so now he tries to keep it in stock. He's run out a couple of times and I was just like, no, no. So every time I go in, I'm like, you still got a lot? But now if I go get it, it's just right up the road. So it's not as big of a deal to try to carry it back home on the bike. And I don't have to get 2 at a time, but I can because it's not so far to ride and it's like not that big of a deal. But it's just, it's hard to maneuver it because that back basket I've got, it's just a laundry basket, that I've got like attached to the, what do you call that thing? The back rack that's on there. Because that back rack could be used, when I got the bike, I think it came with like a seat for the back so that, another person could ride on it. But I didn't put the seat on there because I don't need anybody riding on the back of my bike. I needed the racks, put the basket on. But it's just a plastic laundry basket, so it's not that stable. I've been trying to come up with a way to, fix something, like have some kind of like board or some kind of thin piece of metal or something, but it's going to add weight to the bike, which is going to kind of be But I was thinking I need to like try to fix something to where it keeps that basket from being like this, because it can get a little like, it's attached, I have it attached on there real good, but since it's plastic, it kind of, it's a little iffy. But anyway, I have just been rambling on for 20 minutes, 23 minutes. Good Lord. I guess I'm like hyped up or something. I've been sitting around waiting for Linda on her channel. She does her live streams, and she said she was going to do one today, but it keeps getting later and later, and she hadn't ever done it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and make my video, and then I'll check back and see if she's doing it, because I enjoy going on her live streams. They're fun, so... So I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to make a video for here. I didn't know I was going to ramble on all this time, but like I've said before, I enjoy it. And if you don't mind listening to my rambles, then, I appreciate it. And I'm hoping that my thing comes tomorrow, my stand, so that I can, have a better way of setting this thing up to do these videos. And it's pretty portable, so you can just carry it around. It looks kind of like a microphone stand or something, So we'll see. Like I said, everything here is kind of cheap and cheaply made, so I don't have my hopes up too terribly high that it's going to be great, but we'll see. But I'll find a way to make it work. I always do. It's like I've bought things in the past that were like not very good, and I get creative. I start trying to come up with ways to make things work that don't. And I've done it with a lot of stuff. I've actually been able to fix things and get things working better than they had, better than they came. But sometimes it might not look all that great. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But Anyway, I hope that you all have a great Friday, and I hope it's a nice day wherever you are. Today, of course, when you know it, I had to go out on my errands, and I checked the weather report because it was raining when I got up. I'm like, oh great, and the sky was just totally gray, and it just kept raining. So I checked the weather, and it said it was going to rain all day, and I thought, all right, well, I've got to go, so I might as well just go now because it's going to rain all day anyway. And I even made a joke to myself, and I thought, yeah, probably what'll happen is I'll go out in the rain to do my stuff, and then I'll come home, and then it'll clear up. Sure did. Sure did. I went out, had my raincoat on, my little things that I pull up over my shoes to keep my shoes dry, had all that stuff, going out in the rain, and managed to stay mostly dry, and my shoes stayed mostly dry this time. And I'm not kidding. I no more got home and got my stuff put away that I picked up, and the rain stopped, and I think for the rest of the day it was not raining. So once again, I picked the perfect time to go out. It's like, oh, yay. Oh, well, at least the flooding had gone down, because when I left out, I went out this way because I needed to go up here to do some stuff, and then I came back around, and when I came home, I thought, okay, I'm going to go check and see how that end of the street is. That's where I got stuck in the flood that was up over my knees at the beginning of the week. But I got to the street, and I'm like, yay! The water had gone down, and I mean, there was just, a little bit. I had to go through a little bit of water, but it was nothing in comparison. So I was happy. I didn't mind. And I didn't get too wet, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of a nuisance, to have to try to cover up all my stuff in the basket. When I'm going to get something, I bring it out. I've got these big, like, plastic bags and plastic sheeting and stuff that I can put over my stuff to try to keep it from getting all wet. So anyway, but I think I was saying like 5 minutes ago, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Friday. And I will see you again tomorrow, because I'm sure I'll be making another video, especially if I get my thing tomorrow. I'm not sure if it'll be here or not, maybe Sunday. But if it does come tomorrow, I'll be for sure trying it out and trying to make a video with it. So anyway, have a good one, y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.